Andrea Peralta, and I'm a student at Ridgeway Secondary School, and for my internship, I was a criminology internship at CU Boulder. Okay, so before I talk about my research, I'd just like to preface that a lot of the work that I did was desk work, and that's mainly because I can't really be out on the field and interact with gangs, because that's pretty dangerous. Okay, and so the main research project that I worked on was RICO, and RICO is an act that was passed in the 1970s, and it was originally used to deter the mafia, but after that it was used for like criminal enterprises. And the reason why we were doing this was to see the reason why we were doing this was to see the prevalence and frequency at which it's been used throughout the United States. We wanted to see how it's been used like geographically in the United States, so it's used like more in California than it is in Colorado. We also wanted to see how it affects different genders and ethnic groups as well. And for that, for RICO, I read a lot of court dockets, and then I figured out whether or not they were gang related, and then I plugged that information into an Excel sheet. And a side project that I worked on was GRID, and that's a juvenile gang reduction program, and it's based in Denver, and for that one I looked at a lot of citizen data. Okay, and so there on the right is the Institute of Behavioral Science, and that's where I did a lot of my research for RICO, and I had my own little cubicle. And on the left is the New Yahtzee Plaza, it's a probation office in Denver, and that's where I did a lot of my research for GRID. Okay, and housing situation. So I lived on family and graduate housing at CU Boulder, and I had my own little desk work, and I stayed with 2 graduate students, and one girl, so I hit the other one on the right was, the left actually. She sublet her to me, and there was like a week where we overlapped, and she luckily let me stay there. Okay, so what I learned, I was able to sit into a lot of meetings, and I saw that there's different aspects of research. My research involved a lot of reading, whereas other research involved a lot of coding, just plugging that in to see the data that give you. And I also, luckily, Pinhead has like a course, like Sarah said earlier, that allowed prep students for their internships, and I had prior knowledge to Excel, which helped me a lot, because by the end of my internship I had to turn over my research to a group of students, undergraduate students, so I had to really be organized with Excel. And finally, I learned a lot about gangs. I feel like the media really portrays gangs in a different light, so this kind of opened my eyes and showed me how complex gangs and gang legislation, as well as how diverse gangs can be. Okay, and advice I give to future interns: prepare. You don't have to, no one expects you to know everything before you go into your internship, but it does help a little to prepare. I asked my mentor how I can prepare, and he mailed me a book called On Games, which gave me some insight. And I'd also advise future Pinterns to ask a lot of questions. You're there to learn. You're not going to really learn if you don't ask that many questions. And take notes. It's really good to just have something to refer back to, especially since what I was reading had a lot of legal terms, and which I had to look back at a lot of the definitions. And be flexible. Sarah and Karen did not find me a place to live 3 to 2 weeks before I left, and I'm a worrisome person, so it kind of worried me, but they're not going to let me sleep on the streets, so I'm just don't worry about it. And outside of my internship, I went hiking a lot. I also explored campus of Boulder a lot, and I gardened, and I cooked a lot, because you gotta do that when you're not. And I'd also like to say thank you to everyone, Sarah and everyone behind the scenes, and my mentor David, and everyone else. So thank you.
So that concludes the first session. Love to invite you all to our reception. Kids who are interns, if you wouldn't mind kind of lingering, right? I mean, don't block the stairs or anything like that, but let's just